Urza Scarlet. Oh, hi. I'm Ninja Greg, and you're watching the Ninja Greg Show. Don't mind this. That was just adding a new name to my waifu list. But let's put that away for now because I have a review to get on with. And this week my review is on the first ever fairy tale movie, Fairy Tail and the Pheonix Preistess. Okay, now before I get into, summing up the movie, what I liked, what I didn't like, let me get this out of the way right now. I am coming at this from the perspective of an outsider. I did not watch the series up to this point before watching this movie, but as I'll explain in a little bit, I don't think that really held me back from still being able to enjoy it. So yeah, I did not come into this as really a fairy tale fan. I'm giving my perspective as an outsider, and if I still think it's an enjoyable movie despite not knowing anything about the characters, and if it even is possible to enjoy this movie as someone who's not a fan. I don't hate fairy tale necessarily. I just never got into it. But if I didn't watch the series, you're probably wondering, why did I watch this movie in the first place? Well, to be honest, my curiosity was kind of piqued from watching the online video of Death Battle, Urza Scarlet versus Roronoa Zoro from One Piece, and it definitely piqued my interest enough to maybe check it out. But even though I probably should have started with the series, I haven't been able to find it anywhere where I'm sure I could probably buy it or something. But the thing is with me is I don't want to put my money into something that I'm not sure I'm going to completely enjoy. So I need to kind of, test the waters first to see if I would enjoy it, like trying to watch an episode or two online or with Netflix or something, before, investing my money into it. And I just happened to find this movie I just happened to find it at my local library, so I borrowed it and I watched it, and yeah, despite not being much of a fairy tale fan, I actually did enjoy this one. Okay, so what's the movie about? Well, you've got this girl named Claire who has to keep this magical relic called the Pheonix Stone safe. And this movie's not very fresh in my memory, so forgive me if I get some of the details wrong, and like I said, I haven't seen the series beforehand, so please be patient with me if I get some details about the show wrong. But anyways, the Pheonix Stone actually has two halves to it, and whoever puts them together can make this Phoenix appear, and supposedly the legend is that when the Phoenix appears and if you drink its blood, you'll have eternal youth for the rest of your life. You'll live forever. It's basic immortality. And so Claire is kind of charged with, keeping that out of the wrong hands, and the wrong hands just happen to be this stuck-up, self-entitled young king or whatever who wants it so that he could stay young and good-looking forever. Okay, so yeah, the plot of the movie kind of goes how you would expect. I mean, Eclair has the Fairy Tale Guild hired to protect her from the bad guys who want to get their hands on it, for the king who hired them to get the stone so he can get what he wants. But, you know, crap happens, the Pheonix gets reborn and chaos ensues, but our heroes save the day and beat back the bad guys, but not before the noble sacrifice of, you know, Princess Eclair giving up her life so that the Pheonix can be destroyed, because her and the Pheonix are kind of tied together, because I'm sorry, like I said, I've forgotten some of the details, but yeah, you can see where this movie goes, but it's nonetheless an enjoyable ride. Okay, so as for the rest of our cast of characters, we've got Natsu, this guy who has the ability to control fire, and he is the hot-headed go-getter of the group. You've got Urza, the no-nonsense Miss Business leader, but that's not to say she doesn't have some of her lighter moments. You've got Lucy, the strong support character with admittedly a cool power to, you know, summon all these different creatures that are tied to the constellation. Like, she summons like a weapon-wielding bull called Taurus, and a lady with a jar of water called Aquarius. You get the idea. The Zodiac. And then there's Gray, who's got the power to control ice, and Wendy, who I honestly don't know that much about. I mean, she's got this like super loud, super powerful scream, but I'm having a hard time pinning her character down. I mean, with Gray, you know, you get the feeling that he's, you know, the good-looking heartthrob that all the girls are go crazy over, and the other characters, it's kind of easy to pin down their personality real quick. But Wendy, I don't remember her saying a whole lot or contributing that much, and I'm sorry to the Wendy fans out there, but maybe she's better in the show, but like I said, I hadn't seen the show before this point. But other than that, I still found all the characters pretty likable. You know, they're all interesting, unique, they all got really cool, really awesome powers, and they can kick 7 different kinds of butt without even blinking. So, yeah, it's a pretty enjoyable movie, and I didn't find myself terribly lost or confused without knowing a whole lot about this world and its characters and its mythos. I actually enjoyed it. So, yeah, for non-fans, this is kind of an okay piece to jump into, despite not knowing the overall mythos behind Fairy Tale and how this world operates, and you pick up on some of the key elements fairly quickly. But yeah, this is definitely a movie for Fairy Tale fans and just shonen fans in general. If you like all that shonen hard-fighting, action-y kind of anime like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and all that stuff. So yes, I can definitely see myself getting into this series, and I'm probably going to track down the series at some point and just start watching it piece by piece, or watching as much as I can. So yeah, this movie actually kind of made a fan out of me. The only real complaint I have with this movie is, while you can see where the story's gonna go, and while it is certainly an enjoyable ride until you get there, that doesn't hold it back from being predictable. And yeah, towards the end, when the really pretentious king makes the Pheonix appear he thinks he's finally going to get his wish of eternal youth. Surprise, surprise, he gets backstabbed by the guy he hired because he wants the power of the Pheonix to rule the world, of course. So yeah, when that moment came on, I was just sitting in my chair thinking to myself, well, who's got two thumbs and could have seen this coming a mile away? This guy. But other than that, it's still an enjoyable enough movie. But even though I do recommend it, I recommend it most for fairy tale fans. And if you are a fairy tale fan, odds are you've seen this movie already. But while I did enjoy it not being a fairy tale fan initially, from what I understand, this movie takes place after a certain time gap in the series. So, that that might cause a little bit of confusion, but other than that, it's still pretty good. I mean, the story's solid enough. The characters are enjoyable. The action is pretty good. And so yeah, that's what I thought of Fairy Tale and the Pheonix Priestess. Anyways, I'm Ninja Greg. You've been watching the Ninja Greg Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell for notifications so you know whenever I put something new up. I'll see you next time.